Hello students, let's revise our lesson Coal and Petroleum. As you know, it is an exam oriented revision, so it covers only the most important topics of this lesson. And practically we know in science each and every topic it is important. So let's go to the revision classes. Here our first topic we have to revise is natural resources. We know that we need a lot of materials for our survival, and some of them are man-made and some of them are natural, isn't it? Some of the things that we need to access a life, they are that is man-made, and some of them are natural. So now let us see about the natural materials required for our survival, such as air, water, sunlight, soil, etc., are provided by the nature. So the basic things required for our survival, such as air, water, sunlight, soil, these are provided by the nature, and therefore these materials are called natural resources. So what are natural resources? Materials required for our survival. And what are the materials required for our survival? Air, water, sunlight, soil. And from where we get it? We get it from the nature, and nature provides it. So these materials are known as natural resources. Let's define natural resources as materials required for our survival, such as air, water, sunlight, soil, etc., are provided by nature. Therefore, these materials are called natural resources. We know that all the natural resources are not available in the same quantity. Some natural resources are available in large quantity and some are available in less quantity. That means some are available in unlimited quantity, some are available in limited quantity, and based on the availability or based on the amount of natural resources present, we can classify them as exhaustible and inexhaustible natural resources. So keep it in mind, natural resources are of two types, exhaustible and inexhaustible. Now let us learn what are exhaustible natural resources. Exhaustible natural resources, that means the resources which are present in a limited amount in nature and cannot be continually replenished. These are called exhaustible natural resources. So there are the 2 points you have to remember about the exhaustible natural resources. First one, they are present in limited quantity. They are present in limited quantity, and the second one, it cannot be replenished. Replenished means it cannot be refilled. When it is finished only, it cannot be refilled. And such resources are known as exhaustible natural resources. For example, coal, petroleum, forest, etc. We know if the coal deposits, once the coal deposit is finished, we cannot refill it, because we know that for the formation of coal or petroleum it takes millions of years, and also we cannot prepare them in the artificial lab conditions. We cannot prepare naturally, only it has to be formed, so it takes millions of years, and once the coal deposits are finished, it cannot be refilled. So let us define it once again. Exhaustible natural resources, the resources which are present in a limited amount in nature and cannot be continually replenished, are called exhaustible natural resources. And examples also, don't forget to learn the examples. Examples are coal, petroleum, forest, etc. Coal, petroleum, forest, etc. are the examples for the exhaustible natural resources. So how to learn it well, because at the end of the textbook there are some exercises or there are the checkpoints. There it is asked examples for exhaustible natural resources. There you have to learn the examples for exhaustible natural resources, and also we should know the definition for exhaustible natural resources. Next one is inexhaustible natural resources. So if we know what is exhaustible natural resource, very easily we can understand what is inexhaustible natural resources. Exhaustible natural resources opposite is inexhaustible natural resources. Resources which are present in a limited amount in nature and can be continually replenished, are not likely to be exhausted by various human activities, are called inexhaustible natural resources. Inexhaustible meaning itself, it says that it cannot be exhausted. It cannot be finished up. So the natural resources which are present in unlimited quantity. Remember, note the point, they are present in unlimited quantity and they can be continually replenished. That means even it is used also, it can be refilled. It can be refilled. And as it can be refilled, it cannot be exhausted by the use of human beings. Such resources are known as inexhaustible natural resources. Examples, we know the examples: air, sunlight, water. Air, sunlight, water, these are the examples for inexhaustible natural resources. So we know that if we are using more air, the air won't be finished up, it will be refilled. So if we inhale more amount of oxygen, that doesn't mean that it will result in a depletion of oxygen. Instead of that, it will be refilled. It will be refilled. If we use sunlight more, if we install more solar power plants, or if we insert more solar water heaters, it doesn't mean that it will finish the sunlight or it will finish up the solar energy. It will be replenished. Such replenishable natural resources which are present in unlimited quantity are known as inexhaustible natural resources. They are known as inexhaustible natural resources. So there it can ask the question, what are the differences between exhaustible and inexhaustible natural resources? There can ask the question, what are the differences between exhaustible and inexhaustible natural resources? So already we have studied, so we can understand it once again. What is exhaustible natural resources? So exhaustible natural resources, they are present in limited amount or they are present in limited quantity. And corresponding point in inexhaustible natural resources, they are present in unlimited amount in nature. Very easy to remember, isn't it? So first one, exhaustible natural resources, that is present in exhaustible natural resource, that is present in limited quantity, but inexhaustible natural resources, that is present in unlimited quantity. And next one, exhaustible natural resources cannot be continually replenished. It cannot be continually replenished, but inexhaustible natural resources can be continually replenished. So this point also you have to remember, but sometimes there may be the chance of asking what is the difference or what are the differences between exhaustible and inexhaustible natural resources. And the next thing, it is very easy, what is fuel? What is meant by fuel? There can be asked question, what is fuel? We know that there are many fuels, petrol, diesel, kerosene or wood. These are fuels. Why these are known as fuels? Because we know that fuel is a substance that produces heat on burning. Fuel, it is a substance that produces heat on burning. Now our next topic we have to know is, what are fossil fuels? See that fossil fuels, first let us learn the examples of fossil fuels: coal, petroleum, natural gas. These are the best examples for fossil fuels. So now we should know that why these petroleum, coal or natural gas are known as fossil fuels. Why they are known as fossil fuels? So let us see, this coal, petroleum or natural gas, they are formed from the remains of plants and animals that died millions of years ago. So they are known as fossil fuels. Why they are known as fossil fuels? Because coal, petroleum or natural gas, they are formed from the remains. Remains means what is the remnant, what is left over from the plants and animals which are died millions of years ago. So this coal and petroleum, that is formed from the dead plants and animals that died millions of years ago. So they are known as fossil fuels. And in the fossil fuels, there are three fossil fuels are there. Already we have learned what are the three fossil fuels. They are coal, petroleum, natural gas. They are coal, petroleum, natural gas, and we should know that coal. So now we are going to learn detail about coal. So coal. So first we should know what is the appearance of coal. How is coal's appearance? We know that coal is a black or brownish black. So remember, you have learned what is the color of coal. Coal is black or brownish black. And what is its other nature? It is hard and combustible substance. It is hard and combustible substance. These are the properties or nature of coal. Coal is a black or brownish black. It is hard and combustible substance. We can say that it is a sedimentary rock. Coal is a sedimentary rock and usually occurs in layers. Coal is actually, it is a sedimentary rock and it is occurred between the layers. And this where the coal is occurred, that layers are known as coal beds. Where coal is occurred, that layers are known as coal beds or coal seams. Remember, we said that it is sedimentary rock. Keep it in mind, it is sedimentary rock and this coal is present in the upper crust. These fossil fuels, they are present in the upper crust of the earth. Hope these things are clear. So next one is very important thing what we are learning. What is that? That is the chemical nature of coal. Chemically, what does contain in the coal? So now let us see what is chemical. What are the chemicals present in it? Very easy. Only three main chemicals are present, or there is it contains three main things. What are they? Carbon, hydrogen, oxygen. Mainly it contains carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, and it contains small amount of nitrogen and sulfur. Hope it is clear. Chemically, coal is a mixture of chemical substances containing carbon, hydrogen, oxygen. So it is a chemical substance, and what does it contain? It contains carbon, hydrogen, oxygen. And along with this carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, it contains very little amount of nitrogen and sulfur. So hope you won't forget it. It is very important. So once again, coal is a mixture of chemical substances containing carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, and with a small amount of nitrogen and sulfur. So keep it in mind, due to the presence of this nitrogen and sulfur, it causes air pollution. So nitrogen dioxide, we know that when the coal burns, it forms nitrogen dioxide and sulfur dioxide. Later that will result in acid rain. All these things we have learned. So once again we can revise them in the coming topics. Okay. So after that, now we have learned about coal. What is its chemical composition? Now it's time to learn the uses of coal. What are the uses of coal? Coal is used as a fuel to cook food and for generating electricity in thermal power plants. So first two uses we have learned. Now itself we learned what are the two uses. Coal is used to cook food. We know many villages in Uttar Pradesh or North India or many parts of India, we are using coal. For what purpose? To prepare the food or to cook the food. And in thermal power plants, we are using coal to produce heat energy. Am I correct? To produce heat energy. So two uses of coal we have learned. What are the two uses of coal? Coal is used to cook the food and used for generating electricity in thermal power plants. And let us learn next use. It is a source of energy in various industries. And this coal that is used as a source of energy in various industries like cement industry, paper industry, iron industry, steel industry. These industries need a lot of heat energy, and production of heat energy what we use, we are using coal. So remember, very easily we can learn what are the uses of coal, and mainly there are three uses. First one, to cook the food. Next one, for the production of electricity or for generating electricity in the power plants. And the third one, it is used as a source of energy in various industries such as cement, paper, iron or steel industries. Hope these things are clear. So next one, how coal was formed. Already we have said how coal was formed. Coal is formed from the dead plants that had died millions of years ago. We have said that this coal, it is formed from the dead plants, and also we said that it takes millions of years for the formation of coal from the dead plants. Okay, and you have to note the point here. point here, you have to know we should know a process. What is known as, what is it? It is carbonization. What is it? It is carbonization. So let us know what is carbonization. The slow conversion of dead trees and plants into coal. This process is known as carbonization. So it can ask question, what is carbonization? Or it can ask another question, what do we call for the slow conversion of dead trees and plants into coal? So the slow conversion of dead trees and plants into coal is known as carbonization. So we learned that for the formation of coal, it takes millions of years. Am I correct? It takes millions of years for the formation of coal. So slowly this dead plants is converting into coal, and this process is known as carbonization. Next one, we know there are different types of coal. There are different varieties of coals are there. Different varieties of coal, and how we will classify the coal in the different categories based on the amount of carbon present. Based on the amount of carbon present, coal can be of three types. So there are four types are there. So as per our textbook, there are three types are there. So they are anthracite coal, bituminous coal, lignite coal. Note the names once again: anthracite coal, anthracite, bituminous, lignite. So let us see, in anthracite coal, the amount of carbon present is about 90%. So 90% of carbon is present in anthracite coal. 90% of carbon is present in anthracite coal. So what is its property? Anthracite coal is shiny black and very hard. It is shiny black and very hard. And the next one, bituminous coal. Next one is bituminous. Bituminous coal contains only 60% of carbon. It contains only 60% of carbon. And what are their properties? That is black in color. That is black in color and breaks very easily. That is black in color and breaks very easily. So here you see in the properties we can see, as we are moving from anthracite coal to lignite coal, its hardness decreases. Anthracite coal, it was very hard, but bituminous coal, it breaks very easily. So let us see about lignite. Lignite, it contains only 40% of carbon. Lignite, it contains only 40% of carbon. And what are their properties? That is brown in color. See that remaining two varieties, anthracite coal and bituminous coal, they were black in color, but lignite coal is brown in color and they are softer than other types. That means it is softer than bituminous coal and anthracite coal. So here you have to learn it well. Here it may ask a question, which coal is present in brown in color? About 90 the options: anthracite coal, bituminous coal, lignite coal. Which coal is that? Anthracite coal. Any other? It may ask a question. So from that, which coal has shiny black color? Which coal is shiny